Hi, I'm Father Jim Forson, and I'd like to share with you some reflections on this 14th Sunday in Ordinary Time. You know, there's two kinds of people in the world. The people who love to shop, and the people who do not love to shop. And God help us all if they're in the same car with each other, or worse, in the same store with each other. Because the people who love to shop will shop for what they went there in the first place, but they'll also want to go see what's on that aisle and what's the specials, and let me just try this on. I want to see if this fits. And what are you thinking about buying it? No, I just want to see. I'm just looking, that's all. And look at this furniture. This might be nice. What are you buying, a new sofa? No, I just want it. That's people who love to shop. Love to shop. And love that kind of thing. And the people who do not love to shop hate that kind of thing because they are determined shoppers. You know, they go to the store and they know exactly what they're going to get. They're going to get milk, eggs, bread, butter, coffee, and out the door. And to go dilly-dallying around, to do that looky-looing, no, they can't stand it. Now, I'd like to think of myself as being one of those kind of determined, solid, shop for what I want to get. But the pandemic and the lockdown and its aftermath really revealed to me something about myself. And it's this. There's only one password that I know by heart. And that's the one for Amazon.com. Now, what does that tell you? I must love to shop if I know that one. And, you know, it's not a bad thing. It's not the end of the world or anything. But it can be a distraction. It can be one more thing in all of the things, all of the stuff of life clamoring for our attention. It can distract us from what we're really supposed to be about in life. And it's not alone. I mean, there's all kinds of things in this world that are calling out for our attention that can distract us. The news of these days, I mean, my gosh, the wars that are going on, or the natural disasters that are happening, and just the politics of the day. And don't you know some families that have the news channel on 24/7? And there's news all the time. And, you know, every hour there's an alert. And if you are living in a house where every hour there's an alert, I guarantee you are living a distracted life. And with all of that, it becomes very difficult to be able to follow the commands of Christ to preach the gospel. The commands that we hear him giving to his apostles in the gospel today when he is sending them out on the mission. And he kind of gives them kind of a curious command when he says to them, do not carry a walking staff or a traveling bag, wear no sandals, and greet no one on the way. And that's odd because you need a walking staff to help you walk and also to beat off any wild animals or wild people for that matter. And you need sandals. Those are rough roads. And you need a traveling bag to carry your money so you can buy food or have a place to spend the night or carry extra clothing. You need all that stuff. And in those days, if you were traveling and you didn't have that with you, well, then the people that you would meet or that would meet you would know that you're no ordinary traveler. You're like the prophets. And if you're not greeting people along the way, it means not that you're unfriendly, but that you have no time for small talk. The only thing that you have time for is to proclaim that message that was given. And you're the messenger. And you have to proclaim what Jesus told his disciples to proclaim. The kingdom of God is at hand. That is what you are about. That is what the apostles were. And people who met the apostles understood that in a second. Why else would these men be dressed that way? Why else would they be traveling that way? They're like the prophets of old. The kingdom of God is at hand. And when I say the kingdom of God is at hand, Jesus was not saying the end of the world is near. No, it's saying the kingdom of God is at hand means that you are now in the presence of God. You are right now at one with God. That is the kingdom of God. And that is what the apostles had to proclaim. And they were so successful at that because they followed that command of Jesus about not living, to put it simply, a distracted life. They didn't have any of the stuff of life to get in the way of proclaiming the message. And when the people met them, they knew that these men, these apostles, were there to proclaim the kingdom of God. And that was it. And it was so convincing. Why else would they have been so successful after the resurrection and ascension of Christ? That people could be able to hear them proclaim that message and follow it. And not just that, Jesus gave them urgency in proclaiming that message, that the kingdom of God was right there, that they were in the presence of God. He said to them, don't spend your time in one town. Go from town to town to town to town. Get busy. Get out there. Do it now. And that urgent message is what he gives to all of us. A message that we can live out unless we're living a distracted life, unless we're so caught up in all the stuff of life. Jesus is giving us all an urgent message that we have to proclaim the kingdom of God. We have to be able to live our lives in such a way that when people meet us, they know that they are on holy ground. They know that they are in the presence of God. And haven't we all met people like that? Haven't we all met people that are just so holy? They're holy, and when we meet that, we want to be like that. We want to be holy like they are. They have brought us into the presence of God. And you know, when you have one of those moments, or with one of those people, or walking on that holy ground, it's so powerful an experience. Haven't we all had one of those kinds of experiences where we just know that we are in the presence of God? Boy, those kind of moments, we don't want to leave them. So, today, we, the followers of the apostles, we, the new messengers of Jesus Christ, have to carry out that gospel. And Jesus tells us to do it urgently. In other words, today, now, all of us. We have to push back from this life of busyness, from this life of distractions, from all the stuff of life. We have to push back from it. And we have to do that today. And today we give ourselves time to be at one with God in our prayer, in our reflection, to be at one with Him so that all the people that we meet today, they will know that they are in the presence of God because we are in that presence of God. They will know that now they are walking on holy ground because we are with Christ walking on that holy ground. And they will know that they are now in the kingdom of God.